Hey guys, my name is Noura, accounting and tax professional and the founder of Noura's Books. I want to talk to you today about foreign income exclusion. So if you are US citizen or green card holders, you are still entitled to pay taxes even if you have been working and living abroad. One thing you need to know is your taxes usually due at the same time for everyone else, the individual taxes. So April 15 usually your deadline. However, IRS gives you 2-month extension. So instead of your taxes due on April 15, you will have until June 15 to pay your taxes. You don't need to do an extension, you don't need to file an extension or anything to have that. It's automatically granted to you. You have until June 15 to file for your tax return. You are required to file taxes, your tax return, even if you don't think you owe any taxes. You still have the requirement to file. Now, a lot of people think they have to take the exclusion because if you work abroad, you have up to $108,700 exclusion for single and double of that for married filing jointly. So you have a lot of money to exclude. You have to make up to that amount, and it's every year this amount is adjusted for inflation. So last year it was less than that. Next year it's going to be more. So the IRS update the amount each year. So a lot of people think they have to take that exclusion. No, you don't. And they get excited about it and they think this is how it should be and this is the best way to do their taxes. Actually, not in all cases. In some cases, yes, that's the best way to avoid paying taxes legally. But in some cases, you would lose some credit. So let's say you have kids, and then if you have kids, you are entitled, it depends on your income, you might be entitled for child tax credits, child care credits, you might be entitled for, this is typically the things that you would lose if you claim the exclusion. So in some cases, it's on your best interest not to claim the exclusion. You might not get the entire credit, but you might get some money versus getting no money, right? So I work with a lot of people with kids who works abroad. When we file their taxes, we don't do the exclusion because they might not get any money if they do the exclusion, and they get a lot of money if we do not do the exclusion. So you want to see which one can benefit you. Also, another option, if you are abroad, you might want to consider foreign income tax credit. So if you are in a country where they have a treaty with the United States, then you may be able to claim the taxes, the income taxes that you pay to that foreign country. And that's an option. You will lose that option if you claim the exclusion, but sometimes claiming the exclusion is better. So you really want to have to see which one can make sense for you and which one will give you a less tax bill or more refund. So make sure you don't just assume something is better than in your case. Just see what happened in each situation. The best thing to do is tax planning. And this is the time to do tax planning for next year, to know what should you do, like what's your option, if you should do anything to avoid paying a lot of taxes if you have to, or to, or do you have to see what type of work you have to do, whatever options you have. Also, if you do live outside of the U.S. and still work for the U.S. employer, still you get that exclusion if you choose to take it. The exclusion does apply to you, and just think about it this way. So if you are working for someone, for an employer in Washington DC, and you live in Illinois, for example, if you live in Illinois, then you will have to pay Illinois taxes if you're working from Illinois, live and work in Illinois, but your employer in Washington DC, that you still have to pay Illinois taxes. You're not entitled to Washington taxes yourself from your income tax. For example, if you live in Florida and work from Florida, but for DC employee, Florida has no income taxes, so your employer won't deduct any money for the state. So that's the same thing. Same thing applies for living in a foreign country. So your U.S. employer has to put your foreign address in your W-2, so you don't have to pay your state taxes, because you don't have to. You don't have to unless you live in that state. That's how it works. Make sure before you file that you are filing the correct form, and you see which one does benefit you more, taking the exclusion, not taking the exclusion. And if you live abroad and haven't filed yet, make sure you file before or by June 15. Another thing you need to keep in mind, if you have an interest in a foreign bank account, which what makes sense, like if you live abroad, probably you have a bank account abroad. If that bank account reached $10,000 at any time during the year, you need to file FBAR. And before you do that, in your tax return, you should do a Schedule B, and there is a question if you have a foreign bank account, and then there's a question if you are required to file FBAR. Make sure you answer honestly, and then make sure you file FBAR by October 15 of this year. Because usually FBAR due on April 15 of each year with the tax return, but you get automatic extension. You don't need to do an extension for that. You just get it automatically, and you just have to file the FBAR by October 15 for the year, for the previous year. So October 15, 2022, you filed the FBAR for 2021. For 2021, you just have to do that, and it's not included in the tax return. This is a different filing. Your tax return goes to the IRS, but this FBAR goes to the Treasury Department, and I did make a couple of videos about FBAR. You can look at them on my YouTube channel, or here on, I think it was Facebook Lives as well. So it will be either here, or you can just find it in YouTube channel. There is an expats playlist. You can check it out to learn more information about FBAR. If you have any question about filing your taxes, let me know. And you don't have so much time left. We are now May 26th, May 26th, so you don't have so much time left. Make sure you file early before the deadline. And also, if you are independent contractor or a business owner, make sure you file what? Sorry, I got a phone call in the middle of these things. Anyway, so make sure you you pay your estimated taxes. And my previous video, I spoke about estimated taxes. If you have any question, let me know, or just book a free call and I'll be happy to talk to you. DM me or email me at noura@nourasbooks.com, and hope to see you soon. Bye.